We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk 1180. Cathy Abernathy and Mark Abernathy. And Cathy, you're right. We're going to run out of time. We could talk 2 or 3 hours on this.
We need all day, 24 hours.
And this is fun. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming presidential election, just for a couple of minutes.
We have a presidential election?
Yeah, we do have one coming up. I'm sure you all know that the United Nations is the largest organization in the world, right?
I didn't know that.
You didn't? Okay.
I thought GM was.
I mean, as far as member states.
Oh, okay.
Member countries.
Oh, okay.
United Nations. Do you know that the second largest organization in the world is the Muslim States Group? And they have 57 members. That's what they had back in 2008 before the presidential election, or during the presidential election. Did you recall one of our candidates for president making what we thought was a dumb statement, that he had visited all 57 states prior? All 57 states?
Right.
Do you think maybe he was thinking of a different group other than the United States of America?
Probably was.
When he made that statement? Scary, isn't it?
It is scary.
Just think, he's president and is up for re-election, and I'm not sure that he's the guy we really need. Everything I keep learning about this guy, like just this morning I learned that he was a member of the New Party in Chicago, which is a socialist communist party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I have said from the beginning that I don't think that Barack Obama is an American. I don't believe he's a real American, whether it's his birth or whether it's just his heart. He doesn't like America. But if you go back to see what he was taught when he had his teacher there in Hawaii growing up, Davis, he was a communist from Chicago, but he was transplanted to Hawaii because he married a rich woman who took him to Hawaii. That's how Davis got to Hawaii from Chicago. And then he found this young Barack Obama at about 10, 12 years old, and he mentored him all through the time that he was there, from that age up until 18 when he went to college over here. We think he went to college at Occidental, but he didn't do.
Harvard,
nobody knows what happened at Occidental. There are no records of that.
Everything's sealed.
Some bad things happened there, but then somebody got him into Harvard, which was this guy from Yemen that had connections. Muslim had connections, got him into Harvard, and paid for who knows how much of what he did. But during that time that he was formative years, he was taught by a communist there in Hawaii from Chicago. And that's how he ends up. How does he get from Hawaii to Chicago? Well, this is the path that he took to get there, where Davis and his communist friends got into that new party, Communist Party. But he was taught by Davis that America is bad.
Mm-hmm. He also had a position in running the Harvard Review, the law paper, I guess, there.
Yeah.
And in there, the statement that was made I was born in Kenya and raised in Indonesia.
Yes.
So, where was he born?
Nobody knows for sure at this point.
He sealed all of his records. Why would anybody seal their records? He was never vetted.
Well, what I have always thought it was odd is if I grew up elementary school, college, around someone who ended up being president, I'd be out there with all the things I remember and make up some. Mm-hmm. But there's nobody talking, because what you look at his life is that he didn't circulate with the regular college folks there. It was these, I don't know if subversive is the right word, but groups that met in a whole different venue, in hiding perhaps. And you see it in the very first things he did when Barack Obama got elected and did his world tour. It was to apologize for America. And I don't know a president in history, I don't know how we can even sit here and talk about it, that gets away with doing that. That alone was enough for me. But what's to me, what the voters in America have to focus on this November is that we have 3 Supreme Court judges who are close to 80 plus as soon as as the next president is sworn in. This man, Barack Obama, cannot be appointing 3 more Sotomayors into that Supreme Court. And that's where he will go. It'll be, of course, everything is color-coded. It isn't the strongest philosophy. It's all those kinds of issues. But we have to focus on that. And the fact that the House will most likely remain Republican, the Senate should become Republican. The purse strings are in some better control here. But with that White House, we cannot afford to have someone who's going to turn that Supreme Court into just a beast going after everything it wants in America.
What a disaster that would be. Our in-studio guests are Mark and Cathy Abernathy. I want to ask you a question about about Bill Clinton in the news lately. He said that the taxes should be extended for at least a year, and which is
the Bush tax cuts.
Yes, which is in direct which is in direct contradiction to what the Obama administration is saying. Is there a rift there between the two of them, or?
Well, I definitely think that the Clintons are just waiting for the chance to take Obama down and to give Hillary one more chance. And so now that Obama is bleeding a little bit, the time is coming for him to get beat. I think Bill Clinton has swung into action now to help take Obama out.
He's made several statements recently that appear to be almost like an endorsement of Romney, but then at the end he says, "But I'm still going to vote for Obama."
Yeah.
Well, and I have a little different take. My theory is that Obama does not want to, he's going to move to the right. Jerry Brown did it too in the fall. That's what they do.
Sure.
And I don't believe he wants to lose the Bush tax cuts. He knows that'll hurt the economy. And I believe that Clinton's just starting the groundswell movement, who then he will then come into reluctantly or aggressively. And maybe that's ultimately the same agenda, which is that Bill Clinton's directing more of this game. But on the other hand, he's also could be a scout who goes out first and checks out things and makes some public statements. And then you see, I haven't heard Obama come out and say, heck no, we're not doing that either.
No.
So you think Bill Clinton has checked his ego at the door?
No, I think he loves any chance he has
That's
to
an oxymoron.
to lead it. But I think he knows what they may do and wants to take a little credit for pushing him there.
Sure.
How about that really bright guy? The vice president. What's his name? Do you think he'll be still Obama's vice president this coming election?
I was so sure he would not be because he's going to be too old to run for president himself. Why waste the vice president's spot on your ticket with somebody who couldn't possibly be the nominee next time? And he's far too leftist publicly to be the nominee. But I haven't seen the Obama campaign throw him to the side of the road yet, because he's their terrier dog. He'll say the things that Obama won't want to say, and he'll throw it out there, and he's already done that. With some of the craziness that he's been saying.
I love the term. He's a terrier dog.
Yeah. Well, I understand he's going to resign in a couple of years, and after the term's up, and then he's going to start the Joseph Biden School of Original Thought. So, another thing I wanted to touch in the last couple of minutes we have, assuming it is Romney and not Sarah Palin, who do you think Romney's vice presidential pick would be or should be?
Marco Rubio.
Really?
But he says he's not going to do it.
Well, surprise.
You mean he's going to have to be dragged kicking and screaming to a genuine draft, and then if he's genuinely drafted, he will agree to serve his country.
How about right? Alan West? What do you think of Alan?
That's how it goes. Yeah.
What about Alan West? What do you think of him?
Well, I think he is a very strong conservative spokesman, military, all that. He's got all the great background, and he's a great speaker, and he has a command of the economic conservatism and the free market. Yeah, he's great. He's super. But I don't think that he brings as much as Marco Rubio, because in the political stew here, what the Republicans need to do is to bring their most likely new partners to come in to the Republican Party, and that is the Hispanic population.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, what about, it's interesting. This morning I saw an interview with Jeb Bush. Very candid. Did you see that, Cathy?
No, I didn't. But when you say Jeb Bush, I can't do anything but smile. I just think the world of his
I
record
like
and his performance since leaving office.
Yeah, very candid interview. And he said, I think maybe I missed my chance. Not that I think I could have won this time out, but I think it's a timing thing, and maybe time is passing me by. And I kind of agree with that. Do you?
I don't know.
Really?
No,
I don't either.
No, another Bush could not have run this time. It's too soon for another Bush. He needs to let some more water pass under the bridge. So he can still come back later.
Assuming Romney wins and serves 8 years, do you think Bush would still?
He's still a young guy.
Still a young guy.
He's still young, and like I said, a lot of these folks leave public office and then they just go become money makers. He has done some very innovative work with his education foundation. He's really, he turned Florida schools around. I wish, Mark wanted to recruit him to run for governor of California because he had a track record, and we never seemed to run somebody with a proven track record, and he had it to really shake up this education establishment, put it in the 21st century, for goodness sakes. And so he can have more success in other states, which is where he's moving into.
Yeah.
Just to remind people that California schools are now at the bottom of American schools. We've gone from the top to the bottom.
The bottom in just a
Does
few years.
anybody care?
Exactly. Mark, Cathy, thank you so much for being here. We have to do this again as we get closer to
Sure
November.
will.
We'll be back in 167 hours on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.